The cystic fibrosis community is invited to participate in a series of videos and podcasts on individuals that are living, breathing, succeeding with cystic fibrosis. This podcast, Bike to Breathe and Cystic Fibrosis, is made possible through an unrestricted educational grant from Chiesi to the Boomer Esiason Foundation. Today you will meet Emily Schaller from Rock CF and myself, Jerry, from the Boomer Esiason Foundation. Emily and I are both enthusiastic about biking because it's fun and biking is a great workout.
Growing up, I was super active. As soon as the sun came up, we were outside playing, skateboarding, just doing everything we could outside. Basketball, baseball, any sport, running around, riding bikes. In my early teens is when my lungs started losing some function and I was starting to get infections and go in the hospital for IV antibiotics. So staying active wasn't as easy. I just kind of started to fade and exercise wasn't important. I didn't know that I needed to do it, and that's when I started to get even more sick. I met some friends in California who were triathletes and marathon runners, and I'm thinking, I can do this. I gotta do something. I know there's more that I can do than just the treatments that are being prescribed to me, so I started running. My lung function went up. I was out of the hospital more, and I was like, okay, there's something to this exercise stuff. Not only was I feeling better and just had more energy, my doctor was like, wow, your lung function's great. It just took a few months, and I started feeling better, and my numbers were showing it.
I really like running, I like weightlifting, swimming, and I like biking a lot. Exercise has been a key part of my life. I grew up with exercise, and to be honest, it's probably kept me healthy as long as I have been with cystic fibrosis. I do exercise every day. I take one day off a week. Right now my focus has been on a lot of biking, some running, not as much because I'm getting older now and it's a little tougher on my knees. One of the disadvantages of running is that a lot of the pounding over time affects your knees, especially with cystic fibrosis. We take a lot of prednisone on and off when you're sick, and that affects your bones.
I used to be in the hospital 2 to 3 times a year for lung infections and IVs, but it went to once every 12 months or 18 months, which was awesome. So I was able to start living my life a little more. I saw a future that I didn't really envision back in my early 20s. Now I've done like 12 half marathons. My goal is 1 in every state. I've traveled to different states to do other triathlons and Ironman. So I'm doing things that I never thought I could do.
The difference between running and biking is basically with the running, it's a quick fix. You can go out there and just start running. It's a universal sport. It doesn't cost you anything. You have a pair of running shoes and you go out, all year round and run. The benefits of biking are it's less impact and pressure, but when you do bike, you have to make sure that you are kind of covering all ground. You just don't want to do flat ground. You want to make sure you're getting in a lot of hills, which are great for your cardio and your power and your endurance. The downside of biking is that bikes can get expensive.
I started looking at exercise as more of a form of treatment. I kind of fell in love with exercise. It's great. Now it's just a part of what I do and who I am. I'm just a whole new person since I started biking and running, and it's awesome.
So we are trying to bring awareness to the importance of exercise, whether it's running or biking. We want people to bike to breathe because it's really important as a form of therapy to keep your lungs clear. I think people in the CF community are afraid to take on certain challenges because it's a fear of the unknown, especially with exercise and cystic fibrosis. Because the biggest problem with people with cystic fibrosis is it's hard to breathe a lot of times. So a lot of times when people start exercising with cystic fibrosis, they cough a lot. And that really shuts them down. They think, well, I don't want to cough. This makes me cough a lot. But coughing is probably the best thing when you're exercising to help keep your lungs clear.
It doesn't matter if you ride 500 miles, or you ride 5 blocks, or you walk, or you run, or you jump on a trampoline. Just do something to get the airways going. Let's face it, exercise is good for everybody. So if I can do it and my other friends with CF and other illnesses can do it, so can anyone else. I wish that I would have been more active throughout middle school and high school, so it wouldn't have been so hard to start when I started in my 20s.
I think CFers that work out are in much better shape in their body and their mind and spirit, and their lungs are a lot clearer.
I think we're going to change the way people live with CF.